Here just recently back from Barcelona, Spain. Went to the Marketers Alliance conference over there over the weekend. I was actually there for a full week almost. I'm going to call it 6 days. Good time. Barcelona was great. Got back late last night. Had a little bit of a cold. I think I caught on the plane. I felt great until I got home last night. I started feeling that a little scratchy in my throat there. So got a little bit of a cold, but I'm not going to do most of the talking anyway. Thank goodness. Pass this over to Herc in just a minute, but it's good to be back. Hope everybody had a great week. I know we went over keyword supremacy a couple of weeks ago. Hope everybody's enjoying that. If not, we're probably going to be shooting out some more emails about some more changes and some more opportunity to get involved with keyword supremacy. I've still been working hard on that every day. We're seeing little things here and there as far as user interface or merging certain things here and there. So there are some changes coming. Nothing major or anything, but just makes it a lot better as things that we notice, and we value your feedback most importantly, and we put those into action just as soon as we can. But today is all about project supremacy. We have a very cool update that another one of our team members has been working on for the last few weeks. We have, as you guys know, we probably have, multiple coders, multiple products. So we're always working on a few at the same time. So Project Supremacy has had an update, and we definitely just wanted to take about an hour today, and Herc's going to tell you all about it. Really, really cool stuff. So guys, really, really pay attention and really put the stuff into good use, because you're going to find that, you're going to get more traffic. And with more traffic comes more conversions, and with more conversions, obviously, comes more revenue. So, that's what we always try to focus over here with our products, is things of that nature. So I guess that's all I really have. Herc, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, I can hear you coming in loud and clear, so I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and I'll let you take it away.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Project Supremacy V3 training webinar for October 8th, 2019. First things first, as always, housekeeping, stuff like that. So all of our webinars, always on the supremacy.digital website under the events page. You can register for the webinars if you're not already registered here, or just access. If you forget your link, you can go here and get your link sent back to you. That's where all the webinars are going to be. Replays, we really want to push everybody to get a Supremacy Digital membership, because not only do we have replays for Project Supremacy in the members area, we also have replays for the Supremacy Digital webinars, plus all our Pixel Scout, Keyword Supremacy, all our other software products, plus any big promotions that we run with other guests, all come into here. This is a look at the members area. Let me pause this for a second. All that sound comes through my headphones. Shut up, Bert. Okay, so webinars, guys, if you hit this link and you go into Supremacy, they're organized by software product that we own. And then guest webinars is where you, all the special guest webinars that we have. So guys like Chris Winters and, well, basically everybody. So for Project Supremacy V3 replays specifically, go into Access Webinars, and then you can see all the products here. Click on Project Supremacy, okay, access the webinars, and we will upload the replays here. My internet's being a little slow again today for some reason, probably because I'm on GoToWebinar. But the nice thing about it, once again, guys, most of you probably already know this, but it's worth repeating for those that are new. This is a replay area of all past webinars that we've ever had. And when you're stuck on something or have a question about something, it is very, very useful to use this because it is keyword searchable. So if you want to learn about things like what we're going to talk about today, just type in 404, it will load. So don't type in 404, type whatever your question is. But for instance, if you're looking up how do we handle 404s, it will list the webinars that we have held and link you directly to the point within the webinar where we talked about that specific topic. So you can see the link here. I like to open it in a new window, and it'll bring you over to YouTube and start the webinar at the point where we're talking about that topic. So a really quick way to get to the topics within all the past webinars that we've held. If you don't have a Supremacy Digital membership, just go to the homepage, which recently got a redesign as well, and click on the Get Started link, which is very, very obvious right here, join for free. and you'll get access to the supremacydigital.com members area. So with all that said, let's move on. Today, what we're going to cover first, before we get into the Q&A, is the new feature of Project Supremacy v3 that was just recently released. And what it is the 301 and 404 management. Now, what a 301 is, for those that don't know, is it's just telling Google that content has permanently been moved from one place on your site to another place on your site, or even you can link off of your site. You can set up 301s has always been in Project Supremacy v3. It was kind of hidden before under SEO settings. We had a tab for it under SEO settings, but we decided, because of the new feature, which is actually the 404 management, to group those into a new tab. So to see these changes, guys, just make sure you update your Project Supremacy v3 plugin to the latest version, which you can do like this. Just you can either do it through the app and click update, or you can just click on this orange button right here, check for updates. Okay, and 3.3.67 is the latest update, where you will see the new menu item for 301 and 404. So once again, 301's telling Google that content has moved permanently. 404's basically is when someone tries to request an area of your website that doesn't exist. Okay, and it'll throw a 404. So let's give an example here. Okay, I'm going to just type in some random string of text, and when you go to that, it will actually throw a 404 page not found error when it loads. Okay, so this is we custom design our 404 pages. So we're like, it's not what you're looking for. This page doesn't exist. So what are you trying to do? And we custom design this. But the nice thing about 404 monitoring is it's going to give you a look into pages that are getting traffic that aren't in existence. In this example here, you can see since we've turned this on, Project Supremacy v3 has a lot of 404 errors being thrown. And Jonathan, I will talk about why you would use 301 and how to use 301, as well as how to use 404 as well. So number one, let me show you a setting. We'll start at 301 and I'll go through that, and then we'll move over to 404, and I'll talk about where it's at and where it's going, because we actually have more updates coming to this feature. With 301, the one setting that you're going to want to make sure if you're using Project Supremacy v3 is our, let me go to settings. It's turning it on or off, because what we do with Project Supremacy v3 is we actually have a setting that allows you to, so here we go. So under dashboard and settings right here, disable automatic redirects. Okay, so right now that's off. By default, what Project Supremacy does is, let's say you write a post or you create a page on your website, and then for whatever reason you change the URL of that post or page. How WordPress handles it is, when someone tries to access the old URL, it turns into a 404. Content doesn't exist, right? What Project Supremacy does is it creates automatically, it creates a 301 redirect. So if you change a page URL from one thing to another, and you go to your 301 management, you'll see a new entry being created automatically for you, saying, the page that you were trying to access is this, but now it goes over here to this page. And the way that it sets up is through a 301 redirect. Now you can turn off the automatic 301 redirects being created for page changes, page URL changes in your dashboard. And it's an important thing to point out, because there have been some people that are making little changes here and there and didn't know that that setting existed. Okay, and if you don't want to do that, just set this to yes, and that will disable the automatic redirect from happening. Typically though, it's probably better to keep it on no, for this reason. When you build a page, okay, let's say you build a page about a certain topic, like say WordPress management, Project Supremacy v3 being a WordPress management plugin, we have a page for WordPress management. Now let's say I go and I start building a bunch of links to the WordPress management page, and I'm moving up the rankings or whatever, and then I stall out and I realize I need to change my URL for better optimization purposes, okay, or for any reason for that matter. I need to change my URL. If I change my URL, all those links are pointing to the old URL, and I would, at that point, if it became a 404, meaning page not found, I would lose all my link juice. I'd lose all the power from all the links that I built. The way around that is to create a 301 redirect and tell Google, look, this content has moved from this page to another page on a permanent basis, which is a 301 redirect. And that's why it's important, I think, to have this turned on, because if you forget, okay, and you go and change a URL and you forget to go and update the old URL to the new URL, or you forget what the old URL was, you're going to lose it. You're going to forget about it, and you'll lose all that link building juice. So that's one of the most important reasons that 301 redirects are really, really important. One of the other updates that we did to our 301 redirects is we gave you the ability to redirect pages that have those old extensions. So like if you're like me and you've been around the internet for a long time, the internet has changed a lot, and some of the extensions that used to be used or used to be popular are no longer really that popular anymore. So a couple examples, HTML extensions. So like when you have an HTML site, it's typically somepage.html, but there's also SHTML, which was a secure HTML page. There was also HTM, they dropped the L. A couple other example of extensions. .pl was Perl scripts. .asp was active server pages. So there's all these extension types that old sites used to have, okay? And now we created the ability to redirect old extension types, any type of extension, to an actual page on your site. Where this is going to become important, okay, is when you guys are out there buying either expired domains or auction domains, or any type of site that you're buying from the history. One thing you want to do is you want to look at what all the old pages were, okay, and you can see that stuff in things like Majestic and Ahrefs and those kind of link aggregators. You want to know what those old pages were, and you want to look at if those old pages have any existing links pointing to them, because they have power, and you don't want to waste that power. So let's say you find a page, like for instance, let's say I bought this domain, and I went into Ahrefs and I noticed that this page specifically had a whole bunch of links pointing to it. Well, the nice thing with Project Supremacy now is you can go and create a new redirect for the page that you found, either create a new page or redirect it to an existing page that you already have, or you can redirect it to your sitemap, or there's all kinds of tricks that you can do with 301 redirects. But the point is you're recapturing the lost power of that specific page and all the backlinks pointing to that page. And you can do that with Project Supremacy. Some of the other things you can do with redirects is you can actually link an internal link offsite. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to create a 301. I don't know why you would do this, but you can take this page and send it to Google if you wanted to, or to Facebook if you wanted to, or maybe to an affiliate link if you wanted to. There's all kinds of flexibility and options that you can use with 301 redirects. But the two most important ones that I want to outline today is obviously, like I said, number one, creating automatic redirects for page URLs that you're changing when you're doing SEO to your sites and you're updating your URLs. And number two is creating 301 redirects for old sites that you buy for PBNs or money sites or whatever. And you see that they had some pretty powerful pages and you want to capture those pages specifically. I will say this, one of the things that we used to do in private blog networks when we were setting them up, we used to do something called, it was like a 404 to a 301 to the home page, which meant anytime someone hits a 404 or a page that doesn't exist any longer, we just automatically redirect them to the home page. And that was how I used to set up PBNs, and that's a big problem. It became a footprint. It became, like every single 404 redirects to the home page, like across all these sites. It's just a big footprint in Google. So the way around it was actually to take the actual pages that had power, and you'd have to look that up in Ahrefs and Majestic, and only redirect those. And with this, you don't have to just redirect them to the home page. You can, like I said, you can redirect them anywhere you want. You can disperse them into different locations, different pages, create new pages, existing pages, whatever. And then it looks a little more natural, right? Because you're not just putting everything under one net and saying, look, any page someone tries to access on the site that doesn't exist, send it to the home page. That's a little bit unnatural. Whereas if you're specifically saying, no, only this page, and this page need to go to these pages, it's a lot more natural in Google's eyes. And you can do that with 301 redirects. The other thing is with 301 redirects, it really ties into 404. So one of the ways to find pages that had power was to look it up in Ahrefs or Majestic and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that people are actually accessing those URLs. So we decided to add a 404 monitor. And the nice thing about the 404 monitors and what it does, 404 basically is an error, like I showed you earlier. It throws a URL, it says, you know, this page doesn't exist. So you can see the one that I just typed in up here as an example, this ASDI whatever, showed up in my 404 monitor. And what it's saying is one hit happened to this URL from this IP address. There was no refer, meaning it was directly typed in. It happened on this date, and here's the user agent. So we give you a bunch of information about this 404. But let's say you have a PBN. Let's actually log into one. Let's say you have a PBN and you have the 404 monitor on, and you're actually getting live traffic to your PBN from all the existing links that are out there, whether Majestics or Ahrefs are finding those links and reporting them to you or not. Let's say that there are URLs that are actually getting live traffic from other websites out there that are linking into your PBN, and you want to know what those pages are. That are getting live traffic, because live traffic is an extremely good signal for PBNs. And let me do this a different way. I'm going to log into app, and then I'll give you the example. Let's go into my side, go into websites, and I'll cover all those questions, John. I see you asking them. I'm just going to get through this quickly first. Okay, so we'll first update the plugin. We see that it's in red. That means it's out of date. This button here, manual update, will actually update Project Supremacy v3 on this site. I'm just going to let that run really quickly. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to direct admin login to the back end of WordPress and show you the 404 monitor on this site. Actually, I'm not sure this is a good example because since I just updated it, I'm not sure if it was logging anything yet. Let's go take a look. Okay, so yeah, see, couldn't find any active logs because I just started it. So bad example of a site, of course. But let's just say that this is a PBN, a private blog network, and we're seeing, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like consistent hits to a page from multiple IP addresses. Probably it would be from the same refer, like, or maybe multiple refers. An old page getting live traffic. Well, that page is extremely valuable to you because it's real live traffic. And if it's not listed, if this PBN URL is not listed in Ahrefs or Majestic, but it's getting live traffic, you're definitely going to want to create a 301 for this URL, because you want to take that live traffic and redirect it to a live place on your site. Because live traffic is definitely a signal in Google, a nice healthy signal. So the 404 monitor is going to help you to do that. You'll see people trying to leech images too sometimes, where you're seeing like .jpeg from this IP address, and well, that was actually probably me accessing it. But you'll be able to see the refer, meaning somebody linked to this image from this website, and somebody with this browser clicked on this website to this link, and that image doesn't exist. So 404 monitor is just a really great way to tell you everything that's being accessed on your site that doesn't exist. It's a way to help you clean up your site, recapture and redistribute valuable lost traffic. Okay. So where this is kind of where it's at right now, but the things that are coming to the 404 monitor is we're going to have more action tabs where you're going to be able to say, okay, like if you know, you're going to see this getting like 8 hits or whatever, and you're like, okay, I need to 301 that. You'll be able to click a button and it'll automatically create a 301 for this URL for you. We're going to be able to group the URLs for you, because it's just going to be another view where if this URL is getting hit from multiple sites, obviously multiple other sites were linking to this URL, and instead of creating the same entry with multiple referrers, we'll group them and then show the multiple referrers to you. It's just gonna be more organized. What we have right now is just the basic monitoring functions, okay? And you're able to like check them out or delete them. But we are gonna absolutely create more features here that are gonna allow you to work with and manage your 404s, which for a PBN or an old purchase money site is gonna be hugely beneficial to you guys. A couple of the other things we're gonna do is we're gonna have kind of a rule set where you can say, look, if any URL gets more than a certain number of hits, automatically create a 301. We're gonna have rule sets where you can have a global 301 based on all your 404. So for instance, if I set, and you probably wouldn't want to do this, but we're gonna include the feature anyway, where you're gonna say, look, anything that's a 404, redirect it to this URL, or you're gonna be able to do it on an individual link basis. You know, this URL is coming up as a 404. It would probably be more like something like, I don't know, something with a refer. When you see a refer, that means the traffic actually came from this other website, and you're gonna wanna create a 301 for that, especially if it has a lot of hits, okay? And we're gonna have action items for you guys to be able to completely handle that. And what's gonna happen over time, as you guys are working with the 404s and 301s, is this 404 log is actually gonna slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where you are effectively managing all the lost traffic to your site and recapturing it and directing it to the right space. So that should be the goal with a 404 monitor, is to clean this up, is to really clean this up to the point where everything's being redirected to proper places. And it's just great information to have. It's all the hidden information of stuff that's going on that you may or may not know about. So, I mean, really, that's basically it, guys, for now. So what I'll do is I see, John, you got a bunch of questions. So I'll start going to questions and leave it at that for now. So John, why would you use a 301? Oh yeah, I kind of covered that. 301 to redirect traffic, to recapture power of lost pages, to set up easy redirect links to affiliate links. There's all kinds of uses for 301s, but the most obvious and most usable one is send your old URLs to your new URLs when they're moved, or rebuild old pages that have lots of links to them and point them to a new page that you create to keep the power and be able to control the page. Jonathan Marks, does HTTP going to HTTPS qualify as a 301? Yeah, you can redirect an HTTP to an HTTPS using a 301, absolutely. Patricia says, why wouldn't we just build another page with that URL? That would be the most natural thing. Content gets updated all the time. So in the scenario where, say, the domain you bought, so say for a PBN or even a money site, let's say it's an old site. I go after, for PBNs, I go after really old sites because they just have more, you know, age. Age is definitely an important thing. But in the example where I said a lot of those old sites weren't WordPress or they weren't PHP based sites, they're going to have a lot of different extensions. Okay, so things like ASP, HTML, SHTML, those kind of things. And in those instances, WordPress, if you build a new page, WordPress by default can't handle those extensions. You know what I mean? So like, let's take this page. Okay, let's say you bought this site, but the URL was actually like this, right, on the old site. Well, WordPress, if you try and redirect that, it'll fail because it can't handle, well, I mean, with WordPress, you can't even create a page that says .asp. So we built the ability to redirect any extension. So that's what you would want in a 301. If you have, in your example, if you have a page where it is a PHP kind of WordPress setting page and you see it and it is something like this, yes, of course you can rebuild the page. And that's what I would recommend that you do. This one is more for redirecting like those extension types, okay? Or I guess the other reason would be like, if you don't want to recreate the page, then just point it somewhere else. Like some people are going to want to recreate and reuse the page for links. Some people are just going to say, no, redirect it to this other page. And it really is going to always depend on what your website or that specific page is about. Like a PBN page you might want to keep, whereas a money site page you might not. It really depends on what you're doing. So all we're doing is giving you the tools to be able to apply what you need to do in the situation that you're in, right? We just want to be very, very flexible with our tools so that we're covering kind of every scenario. Does that make sense, Patricia? Yeah, she didn't think of the extensions. Yeah, it's not just about the extensions. I mean, I've used 301 redirects to create a pretty link as well. Like if you create, like for instance, I'll add a new redirect, right? And I'll use the old URL. Let's say, I don't know, some affiliate program, right? Or the old URL was like Thrive Review or something, right? And then I could put it to affiliate link, right? So I mean, then I could go and give out this link as an affiliate link, Thrive Review. So if I open that in a new tab, it'll go to Thrive, but it'll 404, of course, because that's not an actual page. So there you go, it's loading. It actually sent me into their forum. But yeah, I mean, that's another option that you could use as well. And I've done that, but we have the link manager for that now. So it's kind of a, not the greatest example, but some people want to do it that way. They just want a nice clean URL for redirecting people to a proper place. So that's another reason that you could use it for. Jonathan says, sorry, 404 would also help identify keywords people are looking for. I would say no. 404 really is just showing you the URLs that people are trying to access on your site that don't exist anymore. They may have existed. I mean, if it's coming from another website, like another referrer, it's likely that page content did exist at some point. It's highly likely. It's like 99.99% likely that, you know, this content or this page did exist at some point, but it no longer does, maybe because you took over the site. So if you have a referrer going to a page that doesn't exist, it'll show up in the 404, and that's important. It's really, really important to know, you know, what traffic your site is getting from other places on the internet that you don't have set up, and it'll show up in the 404 monitor. And then you can decide what to do with it. You know, if it links to an image, maybe put that image back there. If it links to a page, maybe rebuild the page or create a 301 for that page. And everything's going to be dependent on the situation, right? Like if you notice one hit and then it never happens again, well, maybe that's not important. But if you notice something like 80 hits to this URL from all kinds of different referrals, like, holy shit, that's a goldmine page that maybe Ahrefs or Majestic didn't pick up. And you're definitely going to want to either rebuild that page or B, redirect it somewhere where you want it to go. And that'll all come out in the 404 monitor. And as the 404 monitor gets more updates to it, being able to see those things will be a lot easier. For now, it's just a big long list of shit. Because all we were trying to do is like build the monitoring, right? And obviously it's working. You can see for the few days that it's been live on Project Supremacy, we have a shit ton of 404s happening. So, I mean, that's something we have to look at as site owners. And this is great stuff to do for your clients as well. We'll try to give you guys an example on a PBN. Let's do, no, that one's not updated. Let's check this one. Well, that's not good. Hopefully I got a notification for that. Maybe I don't have that one set up. Let me just do this. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure that I give you guys a good example. Let's look at something here with a bit of power. and that's been running and capturing 404. So like, I don't know if this site, I can see that it's quite a good site. You know, it has a lot of links. I don't know though if there's been any 404s on the site. I can pretty much guess that yes, there has. Right now, I haven't looked. Let's go see. Yeah, there you go. Look at it. Actually, it has a shit ton. So that doesn't surprise me. Okay, so let's just go through some of them. So this site, okay, is linking to an image that used to exist on the site. So we can actually go, I believe this is the one. Yeah, that takes us to the 404 link. We're gonna have another button that takes you to the refer, or maybe we'll just make the refer link clickable. So what you'd want to do is go see the post. Okay, so now I know that I got a link to an image from this site. So now I'm gonna look at the source code of this site. And I don't know if this would have showed up in Ahrefs. I just don't know, right? So what I'm gonna do is look at the source code for this, and then I'm gonna look for the reference to my site. Okay, so it's showing 4. So there it is right there. Okay. Ahref equals culinartop50.com, CGI bin top fit. There's a perfect example. Okay. I'm actually getting a backlink from this site that I didn't know about, and it's a CGI. That's another way. Common, or what is the CGI? Something gateway interface. Common gateway interface. And then there's also an image reference that it's trying to pull an image off my site, but it's great to know. Well, here's what I would do. I would take this link. Okay, and you'll be able to do this much easier once we have the new items in. But I'm going to go to 301 redirects. I'm going to add a new redirect. Right? I'm going to use the old URL format. Okay, and I'm just, for this example, going to redirect it to the home page. Well, I guess we just have to, let's leave it blank. I actually do that. We'll make all this shit really easy and really obvious for you guys. Oops. Copy this link one more time. Not sure why that didn't work, but pretty sure it would be index.php, so we'll just do it like that. Okay, so there you go. So I just captured all the power of this link, right? So if someone now comes on their site and clicks on this link, instead of 404ing to Culinary Top 50, it'll go to the home page, because that's where I said I want it to go. You see how that works, guys? I go to my 404 monitor, and we're gonna make this super easy. We're gonna make the 404 monitor like basically working dynamic. So there's another one, that's HTML. Mandarin. So there's Mangry Blogspot. Like, there's a lot of traffic. This is what I'm talking about. This post from mangry.blogspot.com is actually sending a lot of live traffic to this site, right? I want to take advantage of that. I want my PBN to get the extra boost of actual live traffic, but not through a 404, through a live visit. Here's another one. Here's another link that I didn't know that I had. So do you guys kind of see the point of 404? Let's see, Control U, Control F, call in there. There's another one. There's another link to Culinaire. So again, trying to steal an image and linking to me, but at least they're linking to me. Yeah, so the thing is, and Jonathan just nailed it. He said, got it. It'll be fascinating to see what 404s my websites are getting. It is fascinating, and this is a perfect example. Here's another one. I'm getting a link from these guys. I may not have known that. And this isn't just about I got a link. No. I got live traffic, right? Someone actually clicked over to my site, to this URL, webstat, right? From this site. This page doesn't exist on my site, but this link exists over here, and it's going to a 404. That's a lost opportunity for link juice. Like a hugely lost, depending on how powerful this site is, right? If it's a shitty site, then whatever, it's not great. But if it's a powerful site, then it's pretty important to grab that. Spell that right. It's not off the home page, so I'm not even sure how they got over to my site from this one, but I'd still want to create a 301 for this. Here's another one from them. Home.kp.nl. And guys, like, look how long this list is, right? There's probably a bunch in here. Site.ru. I think that's a search engine. A lot from this, a lot of live traffic coming from this mangry.blogspot.com. Here's another one, coral.info. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Hopefully you guys can see the power of the 404 monitor. It's like in this one site, it's like, oh my God, there's all kinds of opportunity here, right? I'm finding new links, I'm finding live traffic, and now I just need to control it. So that feature is new for you guys. It will be getting even better for you guys as we work with the logs now. Remember, step 1, create the log. Step 2, be able to work with the log. We'll include filters. We'll include new actions. It'll get really, really good for you guys to be able to do what you need to do quickly with all your lost traffic. So that's pretty much it for that 301 and 404 monitor. We'll probably, on the next training webinar, we'll probably have a lot more done on this, and I'll cover it again. But if you guys have any questions now, so I'll move it basically now into just pure Q&A. If you guys have any questions at all about anything with Project Supremacy on the app side, on the plugin side, go ahead and start putting in your questions, and we'll answer questions until the end of the webinar. If there's no questions, so be it. We'll just end the webinar quick, and you guys can go play with your new toy. Make sure you update your plugin once again, though, guys, to get that activated. Okay. Like I showed you, a couple ways to do it. You can scroll through your list of sites and look for any of these numbers. If they're in black down here, when you're looking at your sites, that means it's on the most recent version. Okay. If it's in red, that means there's an update available. I'll try to find one. And we do update for you every 24 hours anyways to keep your plugins up to date for you. But if you see something like this, okay, where it's red, all you have to do is click this manual update, and that will go update Project Supremacy v3 on that site. The other way to do it is if you're actually in the site, inside of Project Supremacy v3, just click the orange button, check for updates. It'll run a check. If it finds an update, there'll be a button, update your plugin. It takes 2 seconds, and then on this button, it'll show you what's been updated, okay? Jonathan says, I have to do a keyword analysis for a client, and the 404s will really help. I'm interested in your thoughts on that, Jonathan, on how you're going to use that 404 for keyword analysis for your client, because you might have a different, unique strategy that I'm not even thinking of. Patricia says, will there be another training session strategy after the update? Absolutely, Patricia. We do have Project Supremacy v3 trainings on a monthly basis. I believe it's the first Tuesday of each month. And you can go and see our schedule for training webinars. Patricia, you know what? Your name is new to me. Are you new to Project Supremacy V3 out of curiosity? Awesome, welcome. Hopefully you are loving the software so far. But yeah, so on supremacy.digital/events, okay, this is the schedule of our upcoming webinars. The next Project Supremacy V3 training webinar will be Tuesday, November 12th. And then we'll do another one on December 10th. And we'll probably start adding other product webinars into these as well. Tim says, this is awesome. Great 404 info to plug the leaking holes in my sites. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it for sure. Or to take down the force field of 404s is another analogy. You have all these, live people trying to get to your site and they're getting bounced off the force field. That's a 404. You want to let them in. You want to let them in. So you need to find when they're hitting your force field and allow an open door for that force field. And that's what the 404 is going to do. That's a weird analogy, but it kind of works. Jonathan, what happens when your plugin updates foul on the website? Do you see that or not? Oh, fail. I'm assuming you mean what happens when your plugin updates fail on the website? Do you see that? You won't see, like if you try and do an update of PSv3, like, is that what you mean? Like this, like say you run an update here and it fails, it'll tell you. Like down, watch the bottom right of your screen right now. So right now it's running the update and it was successful. So it popped that little green message up. If it failed, that would be red and it would say, hey, shit failed for whatever reason. It could be a bunch of different reasons. Michael James, can it copy redirects that already exist in a 301 redirect plugin that's already on the site? Great question. So if you guys are using a different 301 plugin and you want to switch to Project Supremacy, number one, it's going to reduce the amount of plugins on your site, which is awesome. Number two, no, we can't import from other plugins, but what we do have is a CSV file option. So if your plugin has a way to export your redirects, you can actually create a CSV file to upload bulk redirects for new 301s. So I don't know what your plugin scenario is, if you can export your redirects, but you can also create a CSV file with the format old URL, new URL, and then upload that. And it'll populate this whole page. That was something that we recently added as well, actually, is the ability to upload 301 redirects via a CSV file. Jonathan Mark says, I'm thinking some people are doing searches and wind up on 404s. I mean, it could happen where people are in Google and Google's serving up an old URL of your site and people are clicking on it. Typically though, that's not going to be very common because when Google spiders your sites and they're hitting 404 pages, even if that page was indexed, it'll become de-indexed because it's 404. It's a 404. So you'll lose that indexation in Google over time. But you might, if it's fresh and you see it, it'll show up. Jonathan says, great stuff, guys. Love your content and tools. Thanks, Jonathan. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, you're talking about updating your other plugins. Will you see if it fails? So one thing that I'll let you guys know again about plugins on V3. Now, we can only monitor plugins that are on the WordPress repo. So like say, for instance, you're managing this site. Okay, let's just go and manage a single site here. And you go to your plugins folder. Okay, so we're working with this website, FreeSFX downloads. and you go to your plugins folder and you click synchronize. That's what the synchronize button is going to do, is refresh all the information from your actual website to what you're seeing on the dashboard. So we're not seeing any updates available to any of the plugins. So I'll use this Spider Spanker for an example. Spider Spanker is Todd's plugin that I use for PBNs to hide myself from Majestic, as well as hide myself from people who actually get access to the URL. But this plugin doesn't actually exist on the WordPress repo. Like, you can't find Spider Spanker Nuke by searching for it on WordPress, for example. If this plugin gets an update, Project Supremacy can't see that it's got it. Like, it'll see that an update's available here, but it won't report it to you, and you won't be able. Let me get my thoughts straight here, because you actually can update it here. What's a better example? WordPress repo plugins, no problem. Let me see if I've got an example of this. I think I do, actually, to really illustrate. WordPress repo plugins, no problem. If you downloaded the plugin to your site on WordPress repo, Project Supremacy will see the updates. It'll report the updates. But if the plugin is purchased privately and uploaded to your site, it's not going to work like that. So 404, that's on the WordPress repo. Updates available. But Thrive, okay, like Thrive Architect, comments, Thrive Leads, Thrive Product Manager. Let me log into Keyword Supremacy backend. Aren't showing in our software in the dashboard. It's not showing anything available, right? So this is a perfect example, actually. So I'm going to do another synchronize just to make sure everything. So for Keyword Supremacy, for instance, okay. Thrive Architect, comments, leads, Thrive. These are all purchased plugins. They're not on the WordPress repo. It's not showing any updates available. I'm going to log into the actual WordPress backend. One moment. Okay, and we see that there's 3 plugin updates available here on WordPress, right? Thrive, Thrive, Thrive. Well, how come it's not showing here? The reason why is because these are from a private update server, not from WordPress itself. Okay, so you kind of have to be aware of that with your sites, where if stuff, isn't showing up for an update here, you do unfortunately have to log into WordPress to see it, because it's on a private update server. Does that answer your question, Jonathan Marks? If it's a WordPress plugin and it has an error, we can report it. If you bought it and put it on your WordPress site, then we can't do anything about it. Leslie Ricchetti, where do you go to manage websites? App.projectsupremacy.com and log into your account, and then go to, well, either the dashboard to give you an overview of everything that's going on across all your websites. Okay, this is the dashboard. These are all the WordPress core plugin and theme updates that I have available across my entire network of sites. So you guys, I'm managing over 200 websites, and I only have 5 plugins that need an update and 2 themes. So all I have to do is click update all, and that'll manage all those for me. The other place to go is to the websites tab, and this will give you kind of a window into each website on this dashboard. So there's a lot of stuff going on with each of these, like tags and access to WordPress. If you've hooked up cPanel, you'll have one-click access into your cPanel. You can hide or view metrics if you're pulling metrics from Ahrefs and Majestic, analyzing the performance of your site, so like site speed and stuff like that. Uptime monitor reports, Google indexation checks, if you want to refresh the screenshot of your site. So like if I hide the metrics, there's the screenshot of the site. If you want to refresh it, it's there. Fail-safe recovery. If anything's going bad on your site, you can access your fail-safe recovery. So without knowing specifically what you're looking to do, Leslie, those are the 2 main areas to manage your website. If you don't have Project Supremacy installed on your WordPress blog, it will not show up in your dashboard. Okay, each one of these sites has Project Supremacy installed on it. That's why it's showing up inside of our central dashboard. Patricia says the CSV is very useful. Mike James says thanks. John says got it. Yarden, how do I redirect same links from an old domain to a new one of a migrated site? How do I redirect the same links from an old domain to a new one? Might be CSV. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. I mean, I'm trying to think about your question here. How do I redirect the same links from an old domain to a new one? So with 301 redirects, typically it's going to be an old link on the site to a new link on the site, right? But if you're trying to redirect old links to a new site, you would just put in the full URL like this. So like this is an example. On this page, we're on the v3.projectsupremacy.com domain. And I said, if anyone hits this 30101.htm, send them to Herc Magnus instead. So that's creating an external 301 where this is the page on this site, but I want to send them offsite to a new domain. So you would just say, this is the page that I want to redirect, and this is where I want them to go, right? So you'd put in the full URL. I think that might answer your question, I think, if that's what you're looking to do. So you would be working a lot on the old site, creating redirects and redirecting them off that old site to the new site with a full URL as to where it redirects to. John says, thanks for the clarification on the updates. Dave says, can you 301 multiple URLs at once that fall under the same URL? Example, site.com bad URL A, site.com bad URL B. Yeah, if it's a URL, like multiple URLs can be 301s, right? So like, yes, I mean, the straight up answer is yes, because you're talking about a different, you can, every URL you want, even whether it exists or not on your site as actual content, can be redirected. So the answer to your question, Dave, is yes, absolutely you can. You would just have to specify what the URL that you want to redirect is, and then of course specify where you want it to go. And it doesn't matter, once again, if it exists or not on your site currently. Meaning, you know, like this 30101.htm is not even an actual page on projectsupremacy.com, but I can have it redirected to Herc Magnus, or I can have it redirected to a page that does exist. Does that make sense, Dave? Does that answer your question? Oh, you're talking about a category, basically a category setting. I've actually never tried. Let's try. Let's try right now. So what he's asking, guys, is like a category. Okay, so a good example of this would be like in a blog. Okay, so you could see I have categories, reviews, features, schema. So let's go visit a category URL. Okay, and we're going to set up a temporary 301 for it and test it. So let's go to blog. Let's visit the V3 blog, and then we'll go into a category URL. So a category URL basically will display every post that was tagged with that category. Okay, so kind of to make it simple. So like, for instance, here we go. I'm going to click on the schema category. Okay, and it creates the URL, SEO schema. So I have child and parent categories, but you'll see that there's 3 posts. I think it's 3. Okay, in this particular blog, when I access that category URL, there's 3 different posts, and each of those posts has its own specific URL. So let me get a little more specific here. Okay, I'll notepad this out for everybody. So here's the category URL, right? Right, and then I have 3 posts that actually fall under that. So I'll just do 2 to be quick. So this is one of them, and then here's another one. Okay, and you can see the category SEO schema. Well, I guess the category is SEO, but it's in each of them. So he's asking, like, if I create a redirect for this, will it redirect all these as well? I think the answer is no right now, but let's try it. Okay, so now the category is redirected to Herc Magnus. So I'm kind of stealing my traffic away from my blog posts. So schema is a subcategory of it. So that still loads, but if I access SEO, that should take me over to Herc Magnus. There you go. So the answer is no. Right now, no. You have to be very specific with the URL that you're redirecting. It will redirect the category URL, but it won't redirect everything underneath the category. That'll apply for tags as well. That might be a feature that we could build. Because I can see where, you know, it would be very, very handy to be like, no, just redirect everything that was under this URL to a new thing. But a CSV is the quick answer right now. Just upload a CSV file of all the old URLs and the new redirects. Let me trash some of these because I obviously don't want my blog traffic going over to Herc Magnus. There we go. Gotta go. Thanks, John. Dave Deneen. So everything under the bad URL. Okay, so no, we answered that one. Okay, guys, I'm at the bottom of the questions here. We're about an hour in now. Leslie Ratecki, I think it was Ratecki. Let me see, where is your name? Racchetti. Leslie Racchetti. This is your opportunity right now, being that you are one of our new users, to ask me anything about anything with Project Supremacy V3. A couple more links that are going to be important for you as well is the onboarding. Let's go to that for you. And it needs to be updated. Obviously, there's a lot of new features, but man, sometimes it's hard to update with the speed at which we update the plugin. It's hard to update the supporting materials. It's almost like we need a guy, like part-time guy, just to like write or record videos to show all the new updates. But this is a good one. This is a good starting point. If you don't already have this link, Leslie, I'm going to put this link in for you, for everyone else that wants it. Okay. This is a video series that kind of logically steps you through all the features of Project Supremacy V3, and how and when and what you'll probably be using them. So like, obviously, you know, number one, we cover how to get support from us, and then how to add sites to your dashboard to begin with, because when you first log in to the app, this will be blank. It'll say you have no sites. So like if I search for some stupid thing, right, this is what you'll see. So until you start adding the plugin to your sites, it won't populate your dashboard. So the video will take you through that. And then it'll talk about tagging and filtering next, which is obvious. And tagging and filtering is just a way to group your sites. So you can see, for instance, I have like AdSense sites, affiliate sites, client sites, lead gen sites, PBNs, personal sites, SERP text sites, Supremacy sites. I add other tags for different scenarios, you know, cancel my hosting on this, deploying it hacked. Blue tags are where is my site hosted? Green tags are where is the domain registered? orange tags are, the type of the site. You could create any tag you want, so it takes you through that. Then how to do backups and rank tracking, schema building. Just obviously read this shit, but it is a great place for you to come and learn about a lot of things. One thing I'll mention right now, especially to you, Leslie, is that a lot of members, and this goes actually for anyone on the webinar, there's so many instances where I'll be on a webinar and I'll be showing certain things where they're like, wow, I didn't even know Project Supremacy did that, right? It does a lot. And the thing is, we have two main areas, right? Like we have your cockpit, like this is where you get a look at your entire network of sites from a single place. And there's a lot of features in the dashboard or the cockpit or whatever you want to call it. A lot of features in here. But then they get over into the plugin side, and there's a lot of features. There's a lot more features in the plugin side too. So really take your time and explore things. Our goal is to make it, very, very easy to use, very, very easy to understand, and to reduce the amount of other plugins that you need to use on your sites to one plugin that does a lot rather than a lot of plugins that do one thing. It's going to help your site load time. It's going to help with conflicts. Plugin conflicts on your site, stuff like that. And I don't want anyone to ever feel, like overwhelmed by the amount of features. You don't have to use every feature, but they come in handy when you do want to use them. Like for instance, there was a comment about a guy that was already using a 301 redirect plugin elsewhere. Well, if you don't want to have extra plugins on your site, you have the option to use the 301 redirect manager in V3 rather than having a second plugin that does the same thing. And that's all that it is. So we don't want you to become overwhelmed by the amount of features. It's all there for you. We're trying to build something that's, we're not trying to do everything under the sun, but we do a lot. What we typically do, the things that, Todd and I do as SEOs typically on a daily basis. We're like, well, we might as well put that into Project Supremacy V3, like 404 monitoring. The reason it came is because I used another plugin that did it. And I'm like, well, then why wouldn't I just put it in ours? And 301 redirects, like a lot of people use 301s for a lot of reasons. Well, we should have it in V3 then, stuff like that. One other thing, this is kind of off topic again, I want to talk about is Google just released an update about aggregate rating. So if you guys don't know what aggregate rating is, it's the stars in Google, right? So when you do a search, and this really applies especially to local businesses and organizations and stuff like that. So like here you go. So like these little star ratings come from something called aggregate rating schema. Like if you rate something with schema, then it shows up in Google. They recently released an update where local business type schema and organization schema, if you have an aggregate rating for your site for those two things, they've removed showing stars in Google. Okay, that's not Project Supremacy's fault. Some people have been like, that's why I own Project Supremacy. It's like, well, it's across the board. It doesn't matter what plugin or what schema you're generating. If you're using aggregate rating on local business or organization schema, you are no longer going to get the stars from Google because they feel that you shouldn't be able to control your own reviews. It's funny because like we were creating, I knew that was going to happen one day. We were creating our own reviews and getting our ratings, but Google's like, no, it has to be third party verified now. And so they've removed it for everybody. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that to you guys that are still building aggregate rating for your local and organization schema. There's lots of articles you can Google about it. We'll even do it. Aggregate rating schema local. And there's probably an article that'll show up. I don't know how to search it. Stars are not shown Google. I'm not sure where the topic was. I saw it floating around on Facebook and I went and looked it up and it's like, yeah, they removed it. So I just wanted to mention that so you guys don't think that anything's going wrong with Project Supremacy. Like, why aren't my stars showing up? I've got aggregate rating on my local business or my schema. Google made the change. Leslie says, can we do keyword research through it as well, through Project Supremacy V3? Yeah, you can actually, and you absolutely should. And it's something called the Project Manager. So it's in the plugin side. Okay, Leslie, and if you haven't seen this yet, you definitely. Do you do a lot of SEO, Leslie? I'll ask that question first. Like search engine optimization, optimizing your sites, keyword research, shit like that. Not really, but I should. Okay, well, that's cool. Yes, you should, because it's going to help you get more traffic from Google. Watch this video specifically, the Project Manager. It's going to teach you how to use Project Supremacy V3 Project Manager feature to create a plan for your site. Okay, and I've taught this on a lot of webinars. So if you go into watch any of our replays and you look up Project Planner, there's just tons and tons of content of me training on the Project Planner. But the real quick synopsis is this. The old way of optimizing pages and posts was to actually go to the page and post, update, install a plugin, like people use Yoast or all-in-one SEO. Project Supremacy does it now too, but they'd update their title and their description on each post, and then they go to the next post and do it, and go to the next post and do it, and go to the next post and do it. It's really slow, okay? It's really slow and it's really archaic. Plus they were trying to optimize for a bunch of keywords as well. So what Project Planner does is basically you can either create a plan, okay, for pages that you want to create on your site, or you can import pages and posts that exist on your site and look at how the optimization of them is. So for instance, this is the plan for projectsupremacyv3.com, right? So if I open these up, I can see, you know, the homepage has this title, this URL, and apparently a blank description, right? The WordPress management page has this title, this URL, this description, oh, and this H1 as well, right? So I can pull in all the pages into one place and then update all my titles, like the core fundamentals of SEO. I can update those pages right here. Instead of visiting each page individually, I can do it all right here, which is really, really nice, really, really fast. But the further benefit to that is I can also choose the keywords that I'm trying to rank on this page for, okay, and put them in here, get the volume, the CPC, and a little bit of competition metrics, as well as track the ranking for those keywords, all from one dashboard, right? So it does so much stuff as far as like optimizing your websites, but it does it in one place versus visiting each page individually. And then as far as keyword research, you can start, I have all these like, here's one for keyword research. You could start with just a keyword, right? So like say I have a website about WordPress management, which Project Supremacy is about that. What I can do is go actions, automatically generate groups, okay? And then it's saying enter a seed keyword. So I would say something like, you know, WordPress management, right? And then how many keywords do I want to pull? Well, it depends on how many credits you have in your account, but say you want to pull like 500 keywords that have a minimum search volume of 1,000 and a minimum cost per click of $1. You can go ahead and pull that from Google AdWords, and it'll search Google AdWords. And then what it'll do is it'll create new groups. So right now we have Search Engine Marketing Checker and WP Clone. Those are probably groups that I've been working with. But after a little bit of time, it's right now it's in the background pulling keywords for me. It'll create a new group based on what Google says those groups of keywords are. And then what you can do is just start organizing those keywords into proper groups. Like you can see some groups are long, some groups are short, right? You can actually move keywords around. So like say for instance, I want to select this keyword, this keyword, this keyword, this keyword, and those are what I want to target. I can actually move them into this group over here. And then when this group is done, and these are the keywords that I want to target for the page that I want to build, well, then I can take this group and move it out of the keyword research group and move it to a different project. Say like, okay, move it into the project live site or something. It just helps you do keyword research in a kind of a messy state, and then move that group once it's cleaned up over to a clean project state. So that's a really short synopsis, and it does a lot of things. But you should definitely watch this video on how it all works. It's an amazing tool, and like I always do my optimization with the project planner, always. Michael James, does this link with our keyword supremacy account for the new keyword tool? No, it doesn't yet, but Todd and I have been talking about doing that, where if in keyword supremacy, you create a group of keywords that you want to target and then bring them into the project planner. I'll kind of show you what the visualization or the vision that we have is. So as you're going through, let's go into the global database, for instance, and look for WordPress managed keywords, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The vision. Okay, so let's say organized by volume. Okay, so WordPress manage host. Maybe I want a hosting page. Okay, hosting, whatever. I start creating these little groups, right? You could pick the keywords that you like by clicking this little button, and it puts them into this little box, and now I can save it. So let's call it WP hosting, right? And I can save my own little group of keywords. Okay, now where those go, okay, for further, not further analysis because they're already analyzed, but for cleaner analysis, let's say, is into my saved lists. Okay, and I won't get too much into this right now because we're going to have another webinar about it. But I forget what I even just called it. Oh yeah, there it is. So you can start searching. There's WP hosting. If I select that, there's my little group of keywords and all its data, right? WP hosting. Then what we want to do is have a button here that says send to Project Supremacy v3. And the first thing that it'll do is say what website, because obviously we have a lot of websites, right? I manage 200 websites. So it'll say, which of your 200 websites is this keyword going to? And we'll say, oh, Project Supremacy v3. And it'll say, okay. Next, it'll say, okay, well, which project is it going to? Oh, I want to put it into keyword research, okay? And then it'll say, all right, which group do you want to send it into? An existing group, or do you want to create a new group? So that's kind of the integration that we want to build for keyword supremacy. But it's pretty big. It's not something that's high on the priority list right now, especially because it's this simple. Like, say you create a group with keyword supremacy and you want to get it into the project planner currently. Let me show you how fast it is. You create the group, you click this link, copy keywords from group. It loads your keywords. Okay. I guess I can just do this, copy, right? You go back to where you want it to go. Okay, I need a new group. Okay, call it whatever. Or if it's an existing group, doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll open up whatever. And I'm going to choose actions, add new keywords. Copy, paste, and add. Okay, and my whatever group now has those 4 keywords in it, right? It doesn't bring in the volume CPC, so that's something else that we would integrate. Since we already grabbed it with keyword supremacy, we'll just pull it into Project Supremacy as well. It is coming, but that's the quick way to do it right now. And then if you do want to have the same data over here, you can select your keywords, okay, and get the keyword volume and CPC. And then you can select all your keywords again, and you can get the keyword competition, which is the broad phrase in title and in URL. So now those are running in a process to collect that data for you. Does that answer your question, Mike? It's worth noting too, this one, guys. Sometimes when I pull in groups and I'm doing keyword research, okay, you get these big long lists. I mean, you're kind of looking through them. One quick way to sort through it, this little button here is a keyword cloud. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to take all, not the keywords, but the actual words within the keywords. So WordPress, SEO, Yoast, all in one pack, and put them into this thing. So like, and then if you click on a word, you can see like when I hover over SEO, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a 42 showing up. That means the word SEO is showing up in 42 of these keywords. So, I mean, obviously this is an SEO group, but when you want to get a little bit more defined, okay, maybe the word optimization, there you go. It only exists in 2 keywords. So I could create a group called optimization and pull those over. And it's way more targeted that way. The word packages only exists in 1. Google's in 2. Dummies is in 1. It'll really help you to like find and sort through your keywords when you're doing keyword research faster. The other thing that this little keyword cloud is useful for is when you do have a tight group of keywords, okay? And you're like, okay, I have to optimize this page for these 4 keywords. How do I do it? What's the best way to do it? Since these are the 4 keywords I've chosen I want to rank for, let me reload this page and then I'll show you that little keyword cloud trick. It's pretty awesome. I think it was in the keyword research group. Okay, so there it is, whatever. What I can do is click the keyword cloud, and it's only going to pull in, remember, each of the words. It won't pull host twice. If host shows up twice, like WordPress shows up 4 times, it'll show how many times, and increase in size the more it shows up. So if I wanted to optimize for these 4 keywords, WordPress is obviously a pretty important keyword, right? So I want that in my title, my URL, my description aggressively. But then like managed hosting, manage host management, these are other words that are in there. So I would like kind of want to look at, you know, my volume didn't show up here, so let me grab that again. I would want to look at, you know, the volume, the difficulty, and kind of start blending that. Target the easy things most aggressively, or the maybe not even the easiest things, but the most important things to you aggressively. And what's most important to you might be based on, you know, volume. It might be based on competition. But when you click this cloud, it'll show you, you know, what words are showing up for all 4 keywords, and then you can start building sentences that actually make sense to people, but are also keyword rich for Google. So like just off the top of my head, managed WordPress hosting would be a great title, you know, managed WordPress hosting. I'm covering my 3 biggest keywords, but there's also manage, host, and management, you know, so our WordPress management software will help you, you know, whatever, host, blah, 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 blah. So I'm optimizing for every keyword in this group by being aggressive in the title and the URL and the things I want. And then grabbing all the opportunities, I call them opportunities, okay? Because the thing you're trying to target for, you be very aggressive for in your title, your URL, and your description. And then the opportunities are the other words that are existing in those keywords, and you still want to rank for them, but they're more opportunistic. You care about them a little bit less. Well, you sprinkle those into your description, your H1, and your content, and then you have a great opportunity to rank for all those things, and you're still aggressively optimized for the most important things. Does that make sense? And Keyword Cloud, that little button right here, really, really helps you visualize that stuff. So it's important to note that's there as well, because some people, once again, are like, I didn't even know that existed. And by the way, guys, as for instance, like this is a plan. It's not an actual live page yet. You'll be able to tell what's in the planning phase versus what's live on your blog by, there'll be a tab if it's actually live. So none of these are live pages, they're plans. Like you're saying, you're creating a plan, right? So for this group, like I'd like to create a page with this title, this description, this H1 and these keywords. If this plan was done and I wanted to make it live, I go to the actions tab, create a new page from this group or create a new post from this group. And what that'll do is actually create a new page or post and put it in draft mode for you and insert the all the SEO elements for you, like the title. It would insert this title, this URL, this description, and this H1, and then a tab would show up here on the top right and say page or post, depending, and that'll signify to you, okay, I actually have this content live now, or this page or post live now. So I got to go add my content. So for instance, let me go back to projects, and I'll go to this. I always put my live groups. I always name it the actual name of my domain, and all the other stuff is usually keyword research or planning. If I load this, you'll see that these groups all have a tab that say page on them. And you can see that there. So page, page, page. These are all live. That's why they say page. And then if I want to visit them, I mean, quickly from here, once again, the actions tab, go to attach page or post. And then it'll take me into that post to do whatever it is I want to do over here. And I might as well show you the PS SEO box. A lot of people are used to Yoast, right? Well, we have kind of a similar thing on each of your pages and posts. It's just, it's right here. So I use a beta, there's the Fusion Builder, and then we have options for title, URL, description. Sorry, things are just loading here, driving, making it crazy. Let me scroll back down. Shrink. Yeah, come on. Here we go. So robots, you can control your robots, okay? You're made of robots. Open graph social profiles. There's a quick schema builder here if you don't want to use our main schema builder. Notes for when you're doing optimization stuff and you want to take notes on what's been done to the page. It only shows to you, it's just for yourself, which also those notes align with these notes right here. So if I write notes here or I write notes here, where was I? They'll show up in both places. And then scripts for the page, like header scripts and stuff like that. Just lots of cool stuff, lots and lots of cool stuff. Guys, I'm at the end of the questions now, so I'm gonna make this the last call for questions. I won't ask that one again. I'll give you about 10-15 seconds to ask any more questions. Otherwise, we're about an hour and 20 minutes in. We'll get the replay up if there's no more questions. Leave it at that. So I'll give you guys like 10 or 15 more seconds. Tim says, thanks, Herc and Todd. Love where PSv3 continues to go. Yep. Oh my God, it's gonna get better. We have some amazing, amazing plans in mind that relate to a silo builder, a drag and drop. We're gonna take the project planner and just take it a whole nother step further. Imagine, I'll just kind of visualize it like this. So right now we kind of have everything very linear, very blocky, very square, right? Okay, this is a page, this is a page, this is a page. Let's say that this page was a child of this page, or this was a category and this was a sub page. The only way that you'd be able to tell that is by looking at the URL, right? So let's say, you know, there was another slash and then more content. That just means this is either a child or or this is the parent page, this is the child page in a page setting, but in post, this would be the category or tag, and this would be the post name. The only way to tell that right now is to look, and we have these blocks, right? Everything's very blocky and square. But you guys may have seen tools that kind of look more like this. Let me log into this for a second. And the best one that I'll show you guys is whenever I teach about silo structures, I always show this what you're about to see, and you'll see why this is going to be so cool in a second. Now imagine you wanted to build a site and create posts and pages, but you wanted to do it on a very visual level, right? Oh my God, stop it with the pop-ups, you guys. Let me just get where I want to go. Now imagine this was your site. Say you have a home page and then you have 3 pages, and then this page has 2 children page, and then this page has 2 more children pages. Now, let me close some tabs too, so I can reference things quickly. We have boxes, and you can open and close the boxes. That's about it. So let me just collapse everything. Okay, we have a 5-page plan here. We don't know what's the parent page, other than by naming stuff. We can't move anything around. But imagine we could just say create a new box and then link it to that page, and then create a new box and link it to that page. And then if I wanted to see all the other stuff, you could click on that and it would open up this data. So let's say this screen actually looked more like this. And then as you zoom in and you wanted to see the other stuff, it would show you this. This is kind of what we want to do, is allow ourselves to create new pages and posts by just going like this, create a child of that pose, and then switch view to like this, where you're looking at your SEO data, or this where you're looking at your keyword data and your competition data, but you're building in a visual style like this, where you can zoom in, zoom out. That's kind of the vision of where we want the project planner to go. It's going to be awesome. There's no other tool that I know of like it. If you guys know of one, please let me know. But this is the vision of how we want to build WordPress blogs with Project Supremacy moving into the future. More a drag and drop style visual plan with the ability to click into each box and get this data and control everything that way. So it's a big plan. It's going to take a long time to build, but it is going to be awesome. And I think it'll be cool. Yeah, great, Leslie. Yeah, dig in. She says, thanks for the brief overview. Great timing. It's a priority for her today. So that's good. I'll probably end it there, guys, since we'll end it on a vision and there's no more questions. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Other than that, hopefully you learned a lot. Hopefully you're loving the tool. Todd, if you're still on, if you want to have any last comments, go ahead and add them. Otherwise, I don't think he is. He probably went to pick up his kids or something. Otherwise, guys, we'll end it there, and I'll get the replay out to you as soon as possible. So thank you all for coming on, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.